Hey there, welcome back. My name's Sarah and I'm going to be sharing with you the best books of 2025, my favorites for this past year, starting off with the one that I immediately thought of, Sunrise on the Reaping by Suzanne Collins. This follows the story of Haymitch. If you're familiar with the Hunger Games series, I was really hoping that this is what this next book would be about, and I absolutely cannot wait for the movie to come out. That was a 5-star that I thought of immediately, and the rest of these that I'm going to be sharing with you are all 5 stars that I rated. Next on my list, in no particular order, is Lore Olympus volumes 8 and 9 by Rachel Smith. This is based off of a mythological retelling of Persephone and Hades and their budding romance. The illustrations are just so rich and communicate so well. I think the mark of a great graphic novel is the ability to tell the story through the illustrations and a balance between that and text. Another banger of a graphic novel, this one is a middle grade, How to Talk to Your Succulent by Zoe Persico. Again, illustrations. I need other descriptors, but wow, I was blown away with the style. So rich and pleasing to the eyes, made me so happy. This story features our main character who is going through a period of grief from losing their mother. It follows their story of not only her grief, but also her father's grief and how that affects their relationship. They kind of don't feel the same with that missing part, which I totally get. Her mother was able to talk to succulents, to plants, and this is where some magical realism comes into the story. And the daughter maybe is able to talk to plants too. I think it did such a good job of emulating the effects of grief with these plants. Next, I have a picture book. I had a lot of favorite picture books actually this year, but I wanted to pick just one. The theme is grief again, with a major fantasy epic adventure element to it, and it's called Drawn Onward by Daniel Nayeri. Now, if I've mispronounced anything, please forgive me. Honestly, there's not too much I want to say about this one. It's so wonderful when the illustrations just really speak to you, and I think it did a great job of dealing with the subject that it did. Next, I have a classic children's book. I've been wanting to read more Roald Dahl, and so I managed to get to reading a few, including the Twits, but what stood out to me was the BFG, Big Friendly Giant, and I listened to the audiobook of this and so amazing. Anytime I find a great audiobook, like Matilda was so well acted as well. Please let me know if you have any favorite audiobooks, whether children or adult. Leave it in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. I had watched the BFG, the movie, before. It's been so long. I remember liking it, but I was really pleased to be able to get to the book. It's such a fun adventure in England. I won't go into too much detail because it's a classic, and I feel like part of listening to or reading this story is not knowing a whole lot except the fact that there's a giant in it. Number 7? Whatever is next is an adult graphic novel along the same line of Lore Olympus. It's the same, like, pretty big book format. Hardcover is a new to me series called Under the Oak Tree, Volume 1 by Suji Kim. I also read number 2, but the first one was a 5-star for me. The third one is coming out this year, and I absolutely cannot wait. Another great style of illustration. I was super impressed, and this is set in, I think, like a medieval time, because we've got knights, we've got our main character who has a bit of a stutter and has had some physical family abuse. She is betrothed and then married to this, not just knight, I think he's a king. It's been a little while since I've read this one. Wow, following their romance and their love story was just so incredible, and sometimes I felt like he's being a little bit harsh, but I feel like some things might have been lost in translation for me because it was translated into English, and I've been loving reading translated works. I have 2 other translated works that I absolutely love. They were kind of more cozy mysteries, but maybe I'll have honorable mentions in the description if you're interested. There were a little bit spicy scenes, so I kind of like glazed over that. And I was like, oh, My cheeks are getting red. Okay, moving on. Next, we are going back to another middle grade graphic novel. This one's called Noodle and Bao. Delicious graphic novel by Shayna Liu. I feel like a broken record, but it was another style of illustration that I just absolutely love. From what I can remember, the main character is trying to help save a noodle and bao shop from a big, ugly conglomerate. It's all about bringing together the community to stand up for what they love and hold dear. I have Oh, look at that. Another middle grade graphic novel. It might come across as a little bit childish, but I feel like authors and illustrators are doing such a good job of bringing adults into these things as well, because we were all children at one point, and sometimes it just connects with something there. And for this one, it was the humor. It was spot on. It was for me. And this is by Erin Blaby, the first one in the Cat on the Run series. I liked the other one or two that I read after that, but the first one was just, it had me laughing and rolling inside. Not literally. I wasn't literally rolling on the floor. This is the author of the Bad Guys series, if you've ever read that or you watched the movie, which actually the first movie was pretty good. This next one that I want to share with you is a middle grade realistic fiction called It's Boba Time for Pearly by Nicole Chen. You know when you find a book that just like speaks to you in your life and what you're experiencing? I've been trying to try new things, new skills, and one of those is crocheting. I started this past year. Now I'm no expert, but I'm really getting the flow of it, and I also love boba. That combination and her learning how to make amigurumi and exploring the business side without losing the fun of the hobby was just so incredible. Next is The Kiss Bet by Ingrid Ochoa. I've read volumes 1 and 2. Number 3 is coming up soon, and I can't wait to read that. This is a graphic novel that's more youth, young adult. It's based off of a webcomic series. The main character is trying to find a magical way to get her first kiss. There's some enemies to lovers. There's maybe friends to lovers. Goodreads says it's great for anybody who's a fan of To All the Boys I've Loved Before. Let me know your favorite books of this past year in the comments. And actually, one of my goals is to make more videos. I think what's more approachable for me is aiming for once a month and seeing where that goes. I have a list of goals. I've never done this before that I'm like, okay, yeah, I want to physically put this down. I've knocked one off my list already, and it hasn't even been a month. I'm pretty proud of myself. I think this is more of a separate video, but I basically want to talk about this weekly diary that I've been doing that also involves keeping up with your goals. And I'd love to get a mini picture printer because there's a spot where you can put little pictures to illustrate some of the things that you talk about. But yeah, let me know if that's something that you're interested in. I would love your feedback. I'll see you in my next video. Bye.